My name is Linsey Miller, and this is my story of faith. I have been in church for as long as I can remember, probably since I was old enough to get out after I was born, so just a couple of months old. And my mom was my Bible school teacher, so all through growing up, I went to worship, went to Bible class, was taught about Jesus. And so ever since the beginning, I had a story with him, and he had a story in my heart. And it wasn't, until the years started passing that I realized that his story and my story were meeting together in such a beautiful way. And as each year passed, different things started happening. And I realized more things about Jesus and his ministry when he came to earth. I saw my friends get baptized and start following him at very young ages, around 11, 12 years old. And I remember wanting to get baptized, and my dad said, no, not yet. And I think a couple more years had passed, and I was around 12 years old, a little shy of 12 years old. They had given the invitation. And I looked up at my dad and I was like, please, I'm ready. So I came forward and he baptized me. And I remember on the way home thinking, yes, I am a Christian and I'm perfect now. I'm never gonna make any mistakes. And this is my new life, and I'm never gonna be mean to my brother, and I'm never gonna sin because Jesus, he's my best friend and he's covered me with salvation. Well, that didn't last very long, and I realized it wasn't about perfection and being perfect. It was about walking with him and following him along the way. And as I studied more about Jesus and his life, I realized that he was very focused on those who were not religious, those who were in the shadows, those who people didn't really care about or may have been overlooked. Throughout my life, there have been several people along the way. Ever since I was in junior high, I could remember from then until my college days, several different girls that I had kind of sought out and seen. Maybe people make fun of them, or they didn't have anyone to sit with, or maybe they were just really quiet and needed a friend. I try to be like Jesus in that way, of being there and being compassionate for those who maybe felt like they didn't have anybody. When I was in college, I would go to the cafeteria after chapel every day and eat lunch. And I noticed this lady, non-traditional student, surrounded by these 19-year-olds. She was 50-something years old, a little rough around the edges. Her appearance didn't beckon people to come near her. She looked older. She smelled of just smoke, because I think she was a smoker. So I think just people are just kind of turned off by her. She kind of walked with her head down a lot and ate by herself almost every day. And so my roommate and I, we noticed her, and we actually sat with her one day. And from that time, just listening to her story, listening to her side of life, I had never really been around people who weren't from a Christian walk, because I grew up going to church, going to Christian school. And she had kind of fallen away from faith, and she had happened to be enrolled in this Church of Christ university. She was not a Christian, was not baptized. She was ashamed of a lot of things she did in her life. And my friend and I were able to minister to her by inviting her to church with us and inviting her to attend a Bible class with us that the university offered every semester. We asked her, hey, do you want to take this Bible class with us? So we became close friends, and actually, she was very poor and wasn't able to afford a whole lot of things. And my friend and I had college student jobs, and we ended up purchasing some things for her for Christmas, like I think an outfit and just maybe some things that she would like, because she never got things for herself. And she in turn made us a bunch of Christmas goodies, she called them. She loved to bake. And so had I not taken that step to realize and notice that someone's by themselves, you know, kind of looking back at Jesus' life like he did. He knows everyone has a beautiful heart. And had we not just taken that step forward, we would have never been involved in her life. And she actually became a Christian. She was baptized and still had hard times, but I think she had a different hope now. My parents were almost married for 30 years whenever they decided to get divorced, and it was really hard. I don't really remember a whole lot of the details. It just feels like a fog. It's like everyone looked upon us as that family that, you know, always went to church. They were a good Christian family, and I think everything kind of fell apart when I was in high school and then going through college, and I didn't really see it coming to this blunt end. I kind of had a feeling it would, but wow, it was, you know, super hard to make sense of it all. When tough things happen, how do you make sense of that? And I had to grow a lot, and I had to think about, why am I going through this? I've since had, you know, a couple of conversations with other Christian friends that have gone through the same thing and was able to just give hope and confidence. And I think because I'm not like a super positive person, but with Jesus with me, I am, and I can be, and I can always think about the positive side of every situation. I guess it's kind of a gift that he's given me with my faith, is always being able to look past the crucifixion to the resurrection, because we do have that hope, and it's the most beautiful gift that anyone can have. And to be able to share that with other people is the whole reason why Jesus died and why we're here. He called us to be his disciples, and he used fishermen, he used tax collectors, people that no one really cared about or knew, not famous people. So that's always been an encouraging part of my story, is I'm nobody, but he makes me somebody, and I can help others by showing his love in some way to them.